Welcome back to another show. Soccer is wrapping up their regular season. Cross country has one more meet before the conference meet, and basketball season is starting. We've got Drover Madness on Monday, so you won't want to miss that. Details later in the interview. We have head coach Vinson Metcalf on the show to talk about the upcoming 2013-14 men's basketball season. This is In the Saddle.
Ball is tipped, there you are. You're running for your life. You're a shooting star, and all the years no one knows just how hard you worked, but now it shows. In one shining moment, it's all on the line. One shining moment, they're frozen in time.
Welcome back to another In the Saddle with Drover Sports. Today we have head men's basketball coach Vinson Metcalf on the show to talk about the upcoming season. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So this is your first season, really leading the Drovers. What can we expect this year?
Well, I think we're going to try to continue the tradition that we've started, that Coach McPherson has established here at USAO, and we're going to try to put a product on the floor that the community of CHICKASHA A and the community of USAO will be quite pleased to come and watch and see us perform.
Well, good. Last week you had the green and gold game, a scrimmage within the team. What did that reveal to you?
Well, I got a chance to see a couple of guys that I haven't been able to see in practice, so to speak, because our top two guards, Marcus Charles and David Tucker Jr., they had a few injuries, a couple of ailments that we had to rest. So I got an opportunity to see a couple of guys that hadn't had as many reps in practice, so to speak. So I was able to evaluate them and see where they're at, and also get a chance to look at some of the newcomers and put them in positions that they're not normal, wasn't used to being in.
So from last season, you've lost an NAIA All-American in Norris Rumps and a couple All-Conference athletes. So what did you do to kind of fill those positions, and who are some of the key returners and newcomers? Well,
we hit the ground running. When I got the job, immediately following, I found an assistant coach by the name of Chris Francis, who played in this league at Rogers State, who's very successful at Rogers State, went on to be a student assistant at Rogers State, and then went to help over at LSU Shreveport, and they were successful last year. So we hit the ground running, and we were able to get on the phone and see and talk to a few people and see a couple of newcomers that we got coming in. Marcus Charles, as I mentioned, transfer junior college player out of Ranger Junior College, all conference performer. David Tucker Jr. Played at Paris Junior College, who had a very successful high school career out of Dallas Kimball in winning 2 consecutive national championships or state championships. Brought in a transfer by the name of Tyler Reynolds. Tyler had played at the University of Texas at Permian Basin. He's from out of Eugene, Oregon, who's a very, very good outside shooter. We're looking for great things from him. Anthony Bowden played at Blaine College. He's from out of Houston. He led Waldorf High School out of Houston in rebounding. Very, athletic, very aggressive type post player. So we're looking for those guys to come in and make an immediate impact on what we're trying to accomplish, as well as the returners that we got coming back. Siobhan Scott, and everybody's aware of Siobhan. Siobhan is the glue. Siobhan's the glue to the program. He was a glue last year. He just brings a work ethic and it's a sense of motivation to the basketball team, and guys cling to him. When Siobhan plays well and plays hard, everybody else kind of follows suit. Kenneth White, who got significant time last year on last year's team. He's back. And Amir Bailey. Amir Bailey sat out last year, with some eligibility issues, and we're glad to have him back for a full season. So those guys are going to make immediate impacts to the program.
Okay, USAO was picked 8th in the Senior Athletic Conference in the preseason polls. How do you feel about that placement, and is that where you think we're going to end up?
Well, I mean, here again, I'm not really concerned about preseason predictions and polls and rankings and things like that. I posted that in the dressing room, and I asked the guys when we huddled up after practice, did they think we were an 8th place team or whatever, and all of them agreed that, no, Coach, I don't think we're 8th place. I said, well, what you have to do now is go and try to prove that.
The Senior Athletic Conference changed a little bit this year, but it didn't get any easier necessarily. We have a couple really good teams who joined the conference this year.
Northwood, who had their inaugural season last year, they're in for a full season of Senior Athletic Conference basketball. And Southwest Assemblies of God, who we played in the first round of the national tournament in Kansas City. Very well coached team. Coach Donnie Boswick knows about the Senior Athletic Conference because he was a mainstay at John Brown University and has went on from John Brown University to Oklahoma Wesleyan and wins a national championship on the Division II level. And now he brings his expertise over to the Senior Athletic Conference with the Southwest Assemblies of God. So in losing, Rogers State and Lubbock Christian and Southern Nazarene the last few years and Oklahoma Christian, that doesn't mean anything because those guys and those teams have been successful, and we're looking forward to them being a part of the Senior Athletic Conference.
And Southwestern Assemblies of God, also known as SAGU, they actually went on to play in the championship game last year, didn't they?
Yes, they
runners up.
They were runner-ups, and they beat in the Final Four game LSU Shreveport, who is on our schedule here a week from Saturday. And we have to go over to Shreveport and play them. And I just, we just hope that we've put together a basketball team that can go and represent USAO to the fullest. Chris Francis, my assistant, he was at LSUS. And he got the experience, playing against Southwest Assemblies of God. So we're very excited. We're very excited for the upcoming season.
Well, as you mentioned, the season actually starts next week in October. October 30th, you guys go up to Northwestern, Oklahoma State in Alva, which is always tough to play in Alva. And then you go to LSU Shreveport, who's, probably a top 25 team starting off the season. You've got a tough, and then you come home for Division II Central Oklahoma for homecoming on November 5th. So talk about your non-conference schedule, which is not easy either.
Well, I think, year in and year out, we're predicted to have the toughest non-conference small college schedule in the country. At least as coaches, we feel like it is the toughest. We are Division II dominant. What I mean by that is most of our schedule in non-conference is against Division II opponents, very, very good Division II opponents. And we open up with Northwestern, who's well coached, and of course, being in Alva, how hard it is to play there. Just something about that place that our kids got to be focused, our kids got to be well rested to go up there and perform and compete. We won up there last year on the semi last second shot. Norris Rump, our all-conference performer, an All-American performer also, hit a shot with about 6 seconds left to kind of put us over the hump in winning that game up there. So we've competed, and we don't shy away. Yeah. We're not going to shy away from a tough non-conference schedule because I think it gets us ready for the best and the toughest small college conference in the country, the Senior Athletic Conference.
So this is your first season as head coach, taking the spot of Coach Briscoe McPherson, who was the head coach for 2 decades here and with the program for 4 decades. So what's kind of going through your head taking over the Drovers this year? What are the emotions going into the season?
Well, just trying to be able to keep things going. You know, I'll never be Briscoe McPherson, but I've learned a lot from him, from being with him for 15 years. And one of my biggest concerns, you know, one thing that a lot of people don't realize or don't bring up, you know, Coach McPherson never got a technical foul. He never
Really?
received a technical foul in his whole career. So I'm trying to guard against getting a technical foul, you know, and if that happens, that means I'm a step below of trying to accomplish what I've learned from him and everything. So you know, I'm putting my own stamp. You know, so to speak, I put my own stamp on the program and try to continue the winning tradition, as I've said all along.
Well, I see you've got your national championship ring on. Are we going to get another one of those?
That's a lot of pressure, Jessica. I was talking to David at the beginning before you got here, and I was telling him that, you know, it's a special moment in winning the national championship. All the things have to come in and be in place. You know, no injuries, little luck is on your side, and you have to have the players. You have to have the players. So that's what we're committed to doing. If we can get the players and those guys buy into what we're trying to do, we could get back there. Because anything can happen once you make it to Kansas City. It's a one and done type deal. And you know, if you win, you continues, and you know, you can get on that hot streak at that time, and like we did in 2002. And we were able to, you know, keep those guys fresh, and there were no injuries. And here again, a little luck prevailed, and we were able to win the national championship. So hopefully we'll get back there one of these days very soon. Very soon.
Well, before season starts, we always have Drover Madness, our annual basketball pep rally. So what can fans expect this year?
Well, I mean, we're going to continue our Drover Madness. It gives the community of CHICKASHA and the USAO community, student body, a first-hand look at both the women's and men's basketball team. There will be an introduction. We've got a lot of games going on, a lot of skill contests and things, and opportunity to win T-shirts and participate, and free food. Jake's Ribs is going to cater once again, and then we got shirts and stuff providing our T-shirts. Mm-hmm. So come out and have some fun. Yeah. It'll be a very exciting night. Once again, and who knows, I might throw in a little line dance.
Oh yeah,
as I've had
a fan favorite
in the past.
Okay. Well, and that is 6:30 Monday, October 28th, here at the USAO Fieldhouse. So make sure that you come out and meet the teams and have some fun with us. Well, thank you for being on the show, Coach. We look forward to a really great season out of the Drovers this year.
Thanks, yes. Thanks.
This year, we're going to do something a little bit different with our Fan of the Week. We're going to ask you a USAO or USAO Athletics trivia question and be the first one to email us the correct answer, and you'll win your very own In the Saddle prizes. Last time, we asked you which coach recently had a birthday, and there were actually 2 winners because there were 2 correct answers, Coach Jennifer Hayden and Coach Chris Francis. So congratulations to Sarah Gibbs and Paula Brashears. This week's question is, where were the Drovers men's basketball team picked in the Senior Athletic Conference in the preseason poll? Be the first one to email us at usaointhesaddle@yahoo.com with the correct answer to win your prize.
She's like a lost hour, growing up through a crack in the bustling sidewalk.
Well, that's it. We will see you out here at the USAO Fieldhouse for Drover Madness on Monday. And make sure to tune in next week for a very special Halloween edition of In the Saddle.
Energy and passion, so